Hi, welcome back to Ladies Talk. Now let's find out exactly what the men have been thinking about some of the subjects that we have been talking about on the show.
I don't really have no preference as long as I get on with a person and we have a connection. That's all that matters to me.
I don't know, but I believe love is something like you can fight. You love someone, you love someone. You like someone, you like someone, you know?
Yes, I would. Unless if you're looking for your right destiny at the end of the day. Whatever makes you happy, you go for it. Because I believe today life is a bit too short. What it is that in God's eyes anyway, we're all equal.
I believe it's because the parent lost control of the kid. And the government, you know, I'm from Africa, yeah, originally, yeah? In Africa, we have a way of bringing up your children. The children respect the parent. But here in Europe, no respect, you know? They're on the street. 15, you have to be at home at 8. I think 7. 15, you have to be at home at 7. But 15, 11, they're out. That's why they usually join gun and all that. And the government have to make sure everyone caught with gun, yeah, should. If they give you a sentence of 3 years, you have to be there for 3 years. We don't want to see you out 2 more times, you know? That's what I mean.
Well, simply, they looked after me from day dot. And, you know, if it's my opportunity to pay them back somehow for looking after me, because I really like the life I've got through them, I'd quite happily look after them.
No, definitely not. I think that's, to me, I see that as you running away from your responsibilities as like a child. And I think, I don't think like you really know what goes on in elderly homes, so it's like you putting your parents there, that's you showing that you don't really care much about them and how you're tired of them. Yeah, so I would never put my parents in a home, definitely not.
Wow, the men are really talking. Thank you so much for the feedback that we're getting about Men's Talk, having your own little section so you can talk amongst yourself. I know you're loving it. And don't forget, you can follow us on Twitter, which is Ladies Talk, and on Facebook, Ladies Talk TV. And if you'd like to see some of the old shows, you can go to voxafrica.co.uk. And remember, this is our last show. Next week will be our last show. So I know. This was a summer special, so we hope that you've enjoyed the show. So, but let's go on to our last subject, which is talking about our elder parents and how we're looking after them. And, you know, there's lots of reports of people putting their parents into homes because parents are living longer. And some people can't live with them, can't live without them. But let's start with you, Jackie. Would you put your mum in a home?
Okay, well, for me, I'm fortunate because I've got 4 sisters and we equally are responsible for my mum. My dad died 3 years ago, so we're equally responsible for Linda. And we all have roles. My sister's the nurse, Pat's the administrator. Okay. I'm the speaker. I'm the spokesperson at any event. Perfect. And Joan in America is the international liaison.
Oh, right.
Yeah, she liaison. Yeah, international. Now, for us, we've all said, you know, like, Mum, do you want to move in? Because she's got 3 beds in the UK that she can go to. She can go to America. And she said, Minna ready. Minna ready. She wants to be in her own home. And we will, you know, we will take her in gladly, but she wants to stay at home. But I understand and I really feel for people who have to face that decision.
I mean, it's a difficult decision because when I think about it, I think about my parents and I could never imagine putting my parents in a home. I just can't see it. Sick or no sick, dementia, the whole lot, I just don't see it. I know it's hard. And I've almost prepared myself to be living in Jamaica, looking after my parents. I visualize it, I see it, and I hope it goes that way so that I can look after them. And it's almost a way of saying thank you for me, saying thank you to my parents and saying, look, you were there for me, and you know, what they say, once a man, twice a child.
But you know what, I agree, Ange, but you know, I've known quite a few people who have had to make that decision. They had to make the decision because they had dementia, the parents have had dementia, and they were not able to manage. I've seen women, you know, taking full responsibility because they do have other siblings, but they're the ones taking responsibility, and in tears, not sleeping, you know, and then having to make that decision that the parents have to go in the home, and it's heartbreaking.
But you know, you've got quite a lot. In fact, your grandparents are still alive.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very blessed, and I have 4 of my grandparents. I knew all my great-grandparents.
Wow.
And I really believe and respect my elders. I have a lot of elderly friend that I hang out with.
Oh, nice.
And we exchange knowledge, each one teach one. I believe that. I would be mortified and heartbroken if the day came that I could not look after my parents. And I totally agree with you, Angie. And I also understand, and I've seen the heartbreak from those who cannot look after their parents. So I think it's very much a subjective experience. It's a lot to do with finance and space. Some people do not have the space, and if there were more help for people to get and more support within the community, within the housing system and things like that, it could be easier.
It's also setting up for that. I mean,
yes, we don't plan for that.
But at your age, Ramel, you wouldn't be thinking about that right now, would you? I suppose you get to a certain age and you start going, oh, I started to think about my parents a lot. Do you have that in the back of your mind?
I'm not living at home at the moment, so I always do think about what's my mum doing. I hope she's not bored, because with my mum, I'm an only child. So literally, and she calls me a lot, and she'll be like, hey, even today she called me and said, oh, what are you up to? And I was just like, I'm just at home. And she was like, oh, I might pop round. And I was like, oh, sorry, Mum, I'm going out. So I feel like I want my mum to be able to still be able to see people, and but I know she's never gonna want to be in a home. And she's never going to want to have anyone looking after her. She's very independent. She goes out all the time. I'm like, where are you going? Just going out. So she needs the freedom, but I do worry.
And it's funny.
It's also, sorry. It's when my mum will call me from Jamaica, and she'll say, oh, when you coming, like she's up the road, when you coming over? And I'm like, Mum, December as planned. She goes, and I said, I might drop over in August. And she goes, oh, that would really make me happy. And then I start feeling the pressure of going, I've got to get out there in August. But I do want to...
Talking about the pressure, when you said about single, you're the only child. My daughter, I've said, listen, if I get to a certain age and I've got dementia, put me in a home.
That's the thing, though.
You can't say that.
I've said that. Put me in a home.
But I suppose no one truly knows until you get there.
And well, you don't. Well, I won't know when I've got it.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So but I've always said to take that burden off her, because she's the only child.
As you said, Angie, it is a blessing that you can give back to your parents, and it is about planning. Just like when you have kids, the moment they're born or you're about to have a child, you should be preparing for their school, their education, their future.
You've got to do
and
the
I think
opposite,
it goes the same way. As you said, is it once an adult, twice a child. You do have those.
But I've said to my kids, you better be looking after me.
Absolutely.
I do not.
You said.
I've said to them, anyhow you don't look after me, I'd say I'm going to be so annoyed.
In theory, in some ways, I think that's what kids should do. I suppose that's what you have kids for, in the sense of they're to look after. But if you think about it, all species from the animal kingdom do it. They don't just disperse and disregard. You have respect for nature, the cycle of life, and that is how you learn the knowledge and you give back. Your grandchildren.
It's the village.
It's all part
It's the village.
Yes.
It's the village.
And we go against the universe and try to be so different and end up in problems.
Independent. We're trying to be independent, and as far as I'm concerned, I want to be there for my parents, and I want my children to want to be there for me, so that everything you poured out in life comes back to you. It's full circle, and I think that's what's really important. And I think it's great that we could have that debate about parents, because we don't discuss it. And a great point you made, Jackie, about siblings, because to have it fairly distributed amongst
I know I'm blessed. I'm so blessed. I know I'm blessed. I saw it when my dad died, how me and my sisters all worked together, and then you see other people, and there's one person carrying the load.
And you know what, that's a reflection of your father's great parenting and your mother's great parenting as well, because so many people do come from dysfunctional homes and they cannot stand their parents, and that's also awful, because we have good relationship with our parents. We couldn't even imagine what that must feel like.
And I think that's what it comes down to, the relationship you have with your parents. And so really have good relationship with your children, a good relationship with your parents, and you might get a little bring-in later.
What you sow is what you reap.
Absolutely.
And you reap more than what you sow. So.
Oh, go, she's off.
She's gone.
Ladies, thank you so much for joining us on Ladies Talk. Don't forget to join us next week, which will be our last show, when Ramel will be on the streets, because she's back out there again. It was lovely having you here.
Thank you, it's lovely being here.
Thank you very much.
I'm loving the hair.
Thank you for joining us on Ladies Talk again.
I get so excited, yeah, when ladies talk, ladies talk. I get so excited, yeah, when ladies talk, ladies talk.